On January 3rd, 2022 in Slaughter, Louisiana, police received a call from Sheila and Clay Fletcher regarding their disabled daughter, 36-year-old Lacey Ellen Fletcher, who was unresponsive on her couch. When the police arrived, the crime scene uncovered a decade of horrible abuse and neglect. Welcome to History's Biggest Villains. Lacey Fletcher was born on November 25, 1985 to Sheila and Clay Fletcher in Slaughter, Louisiana. Lacey seemed to have a fairly normal childhood. She attended Brownsville Baptist Academy where she was on the volleyball team. As she matured, it was clear to see that Lacey was on the autism spectrum and her condition intensified around the age of 14. Her parents took her out of school and apparently began to homeschool her. According to neighbors, Lacey's interests were still revolved in children's activity, not the young adult appropriate things. After Lacey was pulled out of school, very few people saw her, except for a doctor's visit in 2010, where they said she was increasingly not wanting to leave the house, not wanting to leave the sofa, just being totally reclusive. On January 3rd, 2022 at around 2 a.m., Sheila Fletcher called 911 to report that Lacey was not breathing. Some reports say that a neighbor was present in the home and told her she had to call authorities. The sheriff's deputy that arrived at the scene quickly confirmed that Lacey was lifeless on the sofa, so he called coroner Dr. Ewell Beckham, opened the door, walked into the house, and there was a stench, an odor, feces, fecal material, urine. You couldn't hold your breath, Coroner Beckham said when he entered the house. There was a large wet patch on the floor behind the sofa that was determined to be urine. The floor was also buckling under the weight of the feces and urine-soaked couch. The district attorney that prosecuted the case against Lacey's parents described the crime scene photos. Lacey appeared almost buried up to her shoulders in the wide and deep hole in the sofa that her bony body had worn over the years, rubbing away the cushioning. The hole was filled with feces and urine. She was slumped over on her left side with her right arm across her top half of her emaciated body near her neck. She was nude apart from a small blue patterned t-shirt which was pulled up on her chest and didn't cover her breasts. Her eyes were wide open, staring, and her mouth was also open, revealing what appeared to be a full set of front teeth. Her legs were pulled up and crossed underneath her, ironically in a way that people would make themselves comfortable. But in Lacey's case, this was a posture of a bid to survive. Her face was covered in large red blotches. Feces was smeared almost all over her body, matted in her hair, and even inside her ears. There were maggots and insect bites all over her body. Surprisingly, to the couch's right side was a gray commode and a neat pile of clothes. And to the front, only a few feet away, was a cluttered low black table. It was strewn with lotion bottles, talcum powder, a pack of wipes, nasal spray, a box with the lid with the child's photo in it, and other items that made it appear that the Fletchers had the resources to properly care for Lacey. She weighed just 96 pounds when discovered dead in the early hours of January 3rd. Close-ups show the flesh on her buttocks appeared to be totally worn or eaten away from the 12 years that she hadn't moved from the couch. There were large raw yellow areas where the skin had disappeared. Other back and buttocks areas were so blackened it is impossible to anyone to identify what they were looking at. There were pieces of the sofa in her stomach. The coroner said that Lacey died probably 24 to 48 hours before her mother called the police. Lacey's parents said during questioning that she was intellectually sound up until the end of her life. Okay. Sheila's story was that Lacey was alive at 10 p.m. Sheila fell asleep in a chair and woke up at 2 in the morning to find Lacey dead on the couch. Lacey's parents stated that she refused to leave the living room couch. They claimed to have bought Lacey her meals, even saying that she would urinate and defecate in towels or on the floor because she was afraid to leave the couch. Clay and Sheila also claimed that Lacey hadn't seen a doctor in 10 years because she hadn't been sick. Neighbors and friends told the police that they were unaware that the Fletchers even had a daughter. The district attorney, Sam Diakila, stated that it wasn't clear how long it had been since Lacey had left the living room or the last time since anyone other than her parents had seen her. Sheila even claims to have regularly cleaned her daughter's sores. Okay. Yeah, right. Sheila and Clay Fletcher were arrested and they were indicted on charges of second-degree murder, but they both bailed out on a $300,000 bond. On July 19, 2022, they were rearrested and charged with second-degree murder, to which they bailed out. The couple remains out on bond at this time. Sam Diakila is hopeful to get a new trial date before the end of the year. Well, it is 2024 now. From what I've seen now, they're still out on bond, but they're still working to get a date set for the new trial. But I just can't understand how you just let your daughter, your clearly disabled daughter who can't do anything for herself, you let her sit in one spot for 12 years and you don't do anything. You medically neglect her. You don't sit there and like melt it to the couch, literally having the pieces of the couch in her stomach because there's nothing else to eat because you won't feed her. Like, it's ridiculous. Insane. Just so heartless to just do that to your own child too. That's the craziest part. Your own child. Man, thank you for watching this. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on the post notifications. Hope you have a great day and Happy New Year. But I'm out. Peace.